How long were you planning to lie to me? Both of you betrayed me, and now face the consequences.
Well, my ex-husband learned that lesson the hard way. Today, I'm going to share the story of how I turned our messy divorce into my ultimate victory. It all started when I discovered Mark was having an affair. The classic tale, right? He was a successful lawyer, handsome, charismatic, and everyone thought we were the perfect couple. We had a beautiful house, 2 great kids, and what I thought was a happy life. I'd given up my own career in finance to raise our children and manage our household, a decision we made together. Or so I thought. The discovery was brutal. A late-night text that wasn't meant for me. The lies that followed were even worse. When I confronted him, he didn't even try to deny it. Instead, he looked at me with a mix of pity and annoyance, as if I were a minor inconvenience. He said, "Let's be realistic, Sarah. I make the money. This house, your car, everything ... It's all because of me. You haven't worked in 15 years. What are you going to do?" That was his first mistake. He saw me as just a stay-at-home mom, someone who had forgotten how to function in the real world. He offered me a settlement that was, frankly, insulting. It was barely enough to support myself for a year, let alone the kids. He told me to take it, or he'd drag me through a court battle I couldn't possibly win. "I'm a top lawyer," he'd smirk. "You don't stand a chance." That night, after he'd packed a bag and left for his new life, I didn't just cry. Well, I cried a little. But then something inside me snapped. It was like a dormant volcano waking up. For years, I had managed our complex family finances, our investments, our properties. I'd taught myself everything I needed to know while he was busy making the money. He just signed the papers I put in front of him, never bothering to read the details. He trusted me to handle it all. Because in his mind, it was just household stuff. That was his second and biggest mistake. So I didn't hire a flashy, expensive lawyer like he expected. Instead, I called my old college roommate, Amy, who was now a quiet but brilliant forensic accountant. I told her everything. For the next few weeks, while Mark was enjoying his newfound freedom, Amy and I went to work. We didn't sleep much. We drank a lot of coffee. We went through 15 years of financial records with a fine-tooth comb. Mark had been clever, I'll give him that. He had offshore accounts, shell corporations, and investments hidden under names I'd never heard of. He thought he was a financial genius. But he forgot one tiny detail. I had kept meticulous records of everything. Every receipt, every bank statement, every email about our investments. While he was busy being a top lawyer, I was being the family's chief financial officer. We found it all. The secret bonuses he never declared. The property he bought with his mistress. The business trips that were actually lavish vacations. It was a tangled web of deceit, but we unraveled every single thread. The pile of evidence we gathered was staggering. It wasn't just about the money. It was about the years of calculated deception. The day of the first mediation meeting was like a scene from a movie. Mark strolled in with his smug lawyer, both of them looking polished and confident. I walked in with Amy, who was carrying 2 massive binders filled with our findings. Mark barely glanced at me, just gave me that same condescending look. His lawyers started laying out their pathetic offer, again. He spoke about Mark's generosity and my limited earning potential. I just sat there, listening calmly. When he was done, I looked at the mediator and said, "Now it's our turn." Amy opened the first binder. She started speaking, her voice calm and steady. She laid out, step by step, every single hidden asset, every undeclared dollar, every lie. With each page she turned, the color drained from Mark's face. His jaw, which had been set in a confident smirk, slowly dropped. His lawyer started shuffling papers, looking increasingly flustered. We presented bank statements from the Cayman Islands. We showed deeds to a condo in Miami under a company name we'd traced back to him. We had flight manifests, hotel receipts, credit card statements that detailed a life he had kept completely hidden. Mark tried to interrupt, sputtering denials. "This is absurd." "Where did you get this?" I finally spoke, looking him directly in the eye for the first time that day. "You forgot, Mark, I've been running our lives for 15 years. You just paid for it. I managed it, every last penny." The silence in the room was deafening. His lawyer whispered frantically in his ear. The mediator just looked at our binders, then at Mark, his expression unreadable but clearly not pleased. The power in the room had shifted completely and irrevocably. The helpless housewife was holding all the cards. By the end of the meeting, there was no more talk of his generous offer. His lawyer asked for a recess, and they practically ran out of the room. The next offer that came in was different, very different. I got the house, free and clear. I got full custody of the kids with a child support agreement that would ensure they wouldn't want for anything. I got more than half of all the assets, including the ones he had tried so hard to hide. In fact, the judge was so unimpressed with his attempts to hide assets that he awarded me a larger portion as a penalty against Mark. My limited earning potential was suddenly looking pretty good, but the best part wasn't the money. It was the look on his face. The moment he realized he had completely, utterly underestimated me. He had seen a dependent wife, but he failed to see the intelligent, capable woman who had been his partner all along. He had mistaken my quiet dedication to our family for weakness. After the divorce was finalized, I didn't just sit back. I took the settlement, and with my old finance skills now sharpened, I started my own financial consulting firm. I specialize in helping other women, particularly those going through divorces, to navigate their finances and secure their futures. My business is thriving. The kids are happy, and our home is peaceful for the first time in years. Sometimes I see Mark around town. He looks older, more stressed. The charismatic charm is gone. I heard his law firm partners weren't too happy about his legal and ethical mess. And his new life didn't turn out to be the paradise he imagined. The lesson here? Never let anyone define your worth. Never let them make you feel small or incapable. The skills you have, whether they're from a high-powered career or from managing a home and family, are valuable. Sometimes, the quietest people have the most to say, and the ones you underestimate the most are the ones who will surprise you in the end. I didn't go looking for revenge, but I found something much better. My own strength, my independence, and the future that I built for myself. So if you're ever in a situation where you feel underestimated, remember my story. Take a deep breath, gather your evidence, and get ready to show them exactly who you are. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope it inspires someone out there who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories of empowerment and turning the tables. See you next time.